Right. Shalom, shalom. This is brother Asmawa. Got my beloved brother. You can introduce yourself out.
Nakawan.
Khan, yeah, got brother Officer Nakawan from the Philly camp, man. From the sector Sicarii. First and foremost, we're gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Kakadash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father in His Son's name, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Real name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. And we're gonna get started, man. As the theme is, always centered around, the spirit of prophecy. Because this is just this is just where we at, man. This is just where we at, and this is all that's really worth talking about. It's prophecy and admonishing one another each and every day as we see this day drawing closer. And of course, whenever if you got input, just hop on in. But yeah, we're gonna read this article from endtimeheadlines.org. This came out today, May 31st, 2021. And it says US and NATO conduct war games in Europe. All right. It says Russia ready to use force to stop unfriendly foreign action and send troops west. So Russia is sending their troops west. All right. And if anyone doesn't know what war games is, let's go into it real quick. All right. And it's important, since we know, Esau Edom and how they like to, play on words, all that. It's important to go to the meanings of it, the origins, or at least just get some type of information from it so you can get understanding. Proverbs 4:7 says, "For with all that getting, get an understanding." And this is what basically supplements, and enhances your wisdom, which we know wisdom is a key component in interpreting scriptures. That's why he said, "He that have wisdom, here's the number of the beast," things such as that. So wisdom is important, and knowledge and understanding is important to understand biblical prophecy. But nonetheless, let's read what war game is talking about. All right, it says war gamer and war. Oh, let me start right here. It says, enlarge it. You can see it pretty good, bro?
Yeah, I see it.
All right, it says a war game is a type of strategy game that realistically simulates warfare. All right, now let's go into this word strategy game, this phrase strategy game, because this is important as well. It says a strategy game or a strategic game is a game in which the players uncoerced, right, and often autonomous decision-making skills having high significance in determining the outcome. Now, if you go into this word uncoerced, what does it say? It says coercion is compelling a party to act in an involuntary manner by use of threats, right? In an involuntary manner. Well, this goes to show you, right, that these war games is basically rooted in involuntary measures and actions that these nations are doing. The Lord is the instigator of all this. He's the one that's thrusting these armies, right, out in the forefront, whether they want to or not. Right, Biden, none of these people really want to go to war, right? If it was on their own, will and merits, because they all want to, especially, knowing the root of America, knowing that it stems from the Roman Empire. One of their phrases in the Roman Empire was Pax Romana, which means basically Roman peace. This is what they want, right? But it's the Lord that's stirring up the pot, if you will, right? Because it's involuntary, it's uncoerced, right? So this Proverbs 21:21, so like 21:1 says, the king's heart, meaning the king's mind, is in the hand of Yahweh. And if you go into that word hand, let's just see what it says right here. Well, if you go into that word hand in Hebrews 10, when he says it's a fearful thing to fall into the hand of the living God, it literally means controlling the destinies of men. Further proof to show that no one or no nation or no king has free will. So anyway, it says the king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh as the rivers of water. He turneth it whatsoever he will. See that? So once again, it's helped supplement the meaning of war games or strategy game. It says a war game is a type of strategy game that realistically simulates warfare, right? So these people, they're simulating, they're not actually out there warring, in Europe, but they're simulating it, right? What's another word for simulate? You practice, right? In order, they're getting ready for game day. And the game day is World War III, man. Right. So the Lord has put it in their hearts involuntarily, to prepare for war. And this is also major prophecy, man.
Sloggy, when you go back to the word for hand, when you go into the word, you got plenty of options there. Now, when you take a look at B, it says power. So the king's heart is in the power of the Lord. It's in the power of the Lord. So that means what? Like you just said, the Lord is controlling both sides of the party, whether these nations realize it or not. The Lord is really stirring the pot up.
Man, facts, man. And like we said, man, we didn't write this. We're just living in this movie. And it's a pleasure to see it all play out. And see the Lord speak these things from ancient times, and now we living here in 2021, seeing this thing unfold real time, man. All right. Where are we at, bro? It's in something.
Oh yeah. You was about to pull Joel 3:9.
Yep. Yes. Yep, that is it. Yep. It's Joel chapter 3, verse 9. He says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, right? Prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up, right? And so this is what the Lord is proclaiming, right? And he's using his prophets. He's using his mouthpiece, if you will, which would be the sincere heart of Akim, out there diligently, pushing this truth, pushing this message of war, bloodshed, plagues, and pestilence, right? This is us, unctioned by the Spirit to proclaim war among the Gentiles. We're not proclaiming salvation for you all, we're proclaiming, death and destruction, right? So
read 10 is a point I want to make.
Okay, God. It says, beat your plowshares into swords.
That's right. It says, beat your plowshares into swords. Now, what is a plowshare? A plowshare is dealing with farming utensils. So the Lord is saying, listen, man, don't worry about agriculture or farming. Worry about picking up these nuclear weapons, which I actually did the research. Now this video goes back like 3 years ago. I did, and it was a graph on how America spends their money, and 50% of that pie chart went into what? Military spending. And the last percentage, the lowest percentage on that graph was food. So that's literally so they're literally fulfilling prophecy. When it says beat, like I said, when it says beat your plowshares into swords, that's the Lord telling them, like, look, man, don't even worry about farming, right? Don't worry about food. Just worry about spending your money on military weaponry, because you're going to gear yourself up for war. And that pie chart was a demonstration of this prophecy right here. All right, well, go ahead.
It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears.
That's right, pruning hooks into spears. That's just reiterating what it says in the first part. Go ahead.
It says, let the weak say, I am strong.
That's right. Let the weak say, I am strong. Like you have East India, you got Iran, you got these different nations that were once weak at one point because they didn't have missiles. Oh yeah, Hamas, they get their missiles from Iran. Mm-hmm. At one point, they didn't have any missiles, so they were weak, but now they're strong. Why are they strong? Because they have the equalizer. They have the nuclear capability now. So now these other nations are strong because they got the missiles. Now they can fight fire with fire.
Facts. So yeah, we'll read a little bit more of war game, and we'll get back to the article. It says a war game is a type.
I'll be right back, bro. I'll be right back.
All right, bro. It says a war game is a type of strategy game that realistically simulates warfare. as opposed to abstract strategy games such as chess. Right? Wargaming may be played for recreation to train military officers in the art of strategic thinking or to study the nature of potential conflicts. And that's what they're doing. They're studying these nations, they're studying the nature of potential conflicts, man. Right. And these conflicts, it's going to, right now it's potential, but eventually it's going to be manifested into the real thing, you know? And as a matter of fact, I believe it's June 16th. President Biden and Putin, Russia, they're going to meet up, for in the summit case or summit council to basically, talk about, what their moves are going to be, right? So anyway, it says U.S. and NATO conduct war games in Europe. Russia ready to use force, right? So Russia's been talking a big game lately, man. Between Russia and China, they've been flexing a lot. China, I did a video, maybe about a week and a half ago, about how China said that they're ready, to burn America up.
Oh yeah, I have seen that article.
Yep. And Russia, they're flexing. So all these horns, as we're about to get a prophecy, written within the Psalms, all these horns, they're flexing, not considering who's going to be the next ruler, right, or rulers, if you will. It says Russia ready to use force to stop unfriendly foreign action. It says and sends troops west. Now they're sending the troops west for what? All in an effort for them to basically at the latter end of things to receive their promotion. All right, because right now, they're not promoting a high status like America is, but everybody's fighting and jockeying for position. All right, and so are we through the Spirit, So let's get this in Psalms chapter 75. And we'll start at verse 4. And it says, and if you got any precepts out, just let me know.
Okay.
And it says, I said unto the fools, right, deal not foolishly, and to the wicked, lift not up the horn, right? Lift not up the horn. And what does horns in Bible prophecy symbolize? Let's go into it. It says horn. It says strength. Strength. See that? Basically strength of military power. Israel, we got a horn as well, and our horn is going to be exalted. And that's spoken about in Luke chapter 1, right? We're going to get it real quick. This verse 5, he says, lift not up your horn or your power on high. Speak not with a stiff neck. See that? And that's what these nations are doing. They're lifting up their power. They're flexing, right? They're flexing their strength, right? But the Lord is telling them, lift not your horn on high. Speak not with a stiff neck. It says verse 6, for promotion, right? Promotion cometh neither from the east nor from the west, right? Russia, they're sending their, some of their troops, on high alarm to the west, right? But the Lord is saying, for promotion cometh neither from the east nor from the west nor from the south. All right, let's grab this real quick because this is ultimately going to be these nations' promotions because they're all fools according to the Bible. All right, this is Proverbs 3:35. He says, the wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the promotion of fools. All right, so these nations, they're going to be promoted back to their original state, children of base men, because it was set up through the Spirit to where Jeshurun, well, we're the upright ones. We're the ones that's supposed to be on top, right? And these other nations, these base men, if you will, their promotion is actually demotion. All right, so let's go back. Verse 7, he says, but God is the judge, Yahweh is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. That's Daniel chapter 2:21. He says for, let me just grab it.
Yep. Grab it, yep.
He says, and he changes the times and the seasons, right? Ecclesiastes chapter 3, there's a time for war and there's a time for peace. Well, obviously, we're living in that time of war and we're living in that time of hate, right? He says, he removeth kings and setteth up, right? That you go into that word setteth up, it literally means quam. He setteth up kings, and the next kings that are being set up is Daniel 2:44, right? In the midst of these kings, right? All these other nations, the Lord is setting up a kingdom, right? Which would be consisted of the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, right? He says he giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding. You had a point you want to add on that up?
Nah.
Okay, kind of. Let's finish this off in verse 10. Psalm 75 and 10. Really, this whole chapter is cold, but for time's sake, we just get straight to the point. He said, all the horns, all the power of the wicked also will I cut off, but the horns of the righteous will be exalted. And that's that horn that's being exalted is none other than our Lord Yahweh Shah. This is Luke 1 and 69 says, and raised up a horn of salvation, a power of salvation. Because right now, when you read Lamentations 2 and 3, right, it tells you that the Lord actually took away our horn, right? He took away our power, right? This is why he's coming back for a people that have no power in their hands. We have no military might like these other nations, man. All these other nations, they're flexing, you know, all these other kindreds, they got, you know, systems and military set up and play to defend themselves. Who's the only ones that have no defense? The so-called Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans. But just so happened, right, where the whole world is looking at, you know, this physical realm, they're bypassing this spiritual realm, right, which is ran by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, right, and he's exalting his horn right now. He's exalting his power, his military. That's why he's known as the Lord of hosts, right? He says, and he raised up a horn of salvation for us, right? Possessive pronoun for us, because we have nothing right now, man. We have no power. It says, in the house of his servant David. Yeah, because he's building up, he's setting up the house of David once again, right? So let you got a point out. We'll just get back to this article.
Con. I actually wanted you to go back to the article, get Isaiah 13 as well.
Con. Isaiah 13.
Yeah, like see here. Yeah, verse 4. But let's go back to that meaning of war games.
Okay.
Yeah, because it says where it says here. Go back to where it says basically like the simulation.
Oh, okay. Here you go. A war game is a type of strategy that realistically simulates warfare.
Right, exactly, which simulates warfare. And so, yo, man, these guys don't understand that they can simulate all they want to. No matter, it doesn't matter if they keep on practicing how to shoot this missile, how to deflect this missile, which, by the way, it came out a few days ago that America's missile defense system failed them by intercepting the missile. It failed, which goes into Joel, the 2nd chapter. But, you know, obviously they simulate things to go into their favor, of course, right? Well, guess what? It's really the Heavenly Father that simulates everything. So go to Isaiah 13 and 4. They can simulate everything they want. It still ain't going to work, right? It says the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms, as of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. Now let's go into the word for mustereth and see what it says. It says the Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. All right, scroll it down. All right, scroll down. Here we go. Now go to I. See that? It says make overseer. So the Lord is the one who's overseeing this battle. The Lord is going to be the ones. The Lord is going to be the one, of course. Of course, he's going to be using the angels by way of the angels. They're going to be guiding these missiles to go here and go there. They're going to be making America's U.S. defense system to fail. All right. So they can simulate, you know, however they want to, however they want the battle to go, you know, as far as intercepting missiles or what place they're going to hit first. All of that doesn't matter. All of that's going to be in vain. Because the Lord is the one that's going to be overseeing this battle. He's the one that's going to be paying attention to how this battle is going to be going. So all that is in vain, man.
Facts. Yeah, man. That's where we at, man. That's all you wanted on that one?
Nah. Well, actually, let's go to Revelation, the 9th chapter. And like, let's see here. Hold up. Revelation 9, and give me verse, because these missiles are prophesied in the Bible, right? You got guys that say that there is no missiles in the Bible. Well, there is missiles in the Bible. Revelation 9 and verse 15.
This Revelation 9 and 15. He says, and the four angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour, and a day, and a month, and a year, for to slay the third part of men.
Going.
It says, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them.
Right, and that is talking about the missiles right there. 200,000. It's just the number of the army of the horsemen, which pursuant to Joel, the second chapter, the missiles are like, might as well get it. Joel, the second chapter. Right. When you read Joel on the second chapter, the missiles are actually likened to a horseman. Go down to verse 4.
It's Joel 2 and 4. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run.
See that? So the Bible is likening these missiles to horsemen. Matter of fact, go up so we can just establish what the let me see here. Oh, actually, yep, verse 5. Yeah, verse 5, actually.
All right. It says verse 5, he says, like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble.
Yeah, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble. Now, what is that? What is that? What is that going to be? Don't tell me that Russia and China is going to literally light up a bow and arrow and try to shoot it over here. That is literally talking about a missile, man. It says like the noise of a flame of fire that devours the stubble. That's exactly how a missile is, man. A flame of fire. See? But that's it I had on that. Unless you wanted to go more into the article, I do got more precepts to go into.
Yeah. I'm gonna grab one more precept, just for and of course, man, hey, through the Spirit, by now, we have, ample amount of precepts to prove that missiles are biblical, but we just pulling a couple of them right now. All right, this second is 16, and I'm gonna start at verse. Let's see, where is it at? What is it upon you? I think it's a little down here.
Yeah, like 13.
13. Yep, here we go. It says, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. Right? It says his arrows that he shooteth are sharp. If you know anything about military terminology, even if you Google United States military terminology for missiles, one of their phrases for missiles are literally arrows, man.
Exactly. Broken arrow.
Yep, broken arrows. See that? He says his arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Now, ordinary, you got to ask yourself, right? How can an ordinary arrow be shot into the end of the other part of the world? Well, obviously, this isn't your conventional arrow, man. Right? This is an arrow that's bent by the strong hand of the man that's sitting on the right hand of the Father, which Yahweh Shah. He's the one, like the brother said, is orchestrating all these missiles, man, to hit their intended marks. When you read Wisdom of Solomon, I believe, what's that chapter 15 and 16, somewhere around there, it goes into how the Spirit of the Lord is in all things. So the Lord's Spirit is literally going to be guiding these missiles as well.
Right.
Right. So, okay, yeah, you want to get back to the article? Let's get back. All right. It says,
okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it says the U.S. and its NATO allies on Monday conducted a set of major war games across Europe, while Russia responded by announcing plans to send at least 20 new military units to its western border. It says the Memorial Day maneuvers are the latest signs of rising tensions, right? And the Lord, once again, man, Yahweh Shah, prophesied of those tensions to come in Matthew 24. He says between Washington and Moscow, coming just weeks before President Biden is to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin for a high-stakes summit in Geneva.
You know what's so funny about these damn summits, man?
What's that?
They keep having summit after summit. And what is these summits profiting? First of all, Biden and Putin, they're both two devils, two Edomites, and you know that they're going to back. Matter of fact, give me Revelation, the 6th chapter. Cause all these devils do is kill each other. Revelation 6 and 4.
Yeah. It's Revelation chapter 6 and 4. He says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
Shalaga. Read it again.
Starting from the top.
Yeah.
Revelation 6 and 4. And there went out another horse that was red.
Yeah, another horse that was red. So this actually is spirit. Okay, this is a spirit that's actually laid on a nation of people. Okay, go ahead.
And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
Exactly. Who the hell took peace from the earth? The so-called white man took peace from the earth. Okay, when they had came up into power in the 1400s, what was going on? World War I, World War II. You got the Revolutionary War, right? What other wars you had, bro? You had the war of 1812. You had all these wars that started to accumulate when this damn devil came on earth. Go ahead.
Says, and that they should kill one another.
Yeah, and that they should kill one another, man. That's the point, that they should kill one another. These two devils being up for a summit, they still going to try and kill each other. That's all in prophecy. Give me Ecclesiastes 3 and 8. So all these damn summits that they're having, trying to establish some sort of peace with one another, that's not going to happen. Why? Because we're not in the time. This is the time we're in. Go ahead and read that.
Oh, it says a time to love and a time to hate.
That's right. It says a time to love and a time to hate. And when is that time of love going to come? That's going to come when the kingdom gets established, and love is going to be amongst so-called blacks and Hispanics, because there ain't going to be no love for these damn heathens in the kingdom. Go ahead. Oh yeah, Slag. And then it says a time to hate. So we're in the time of hating. These other nations are in that spirit of hate. The whole world is in that spirit of hate, matter of fact. Right? You see what's going on. America's about to pass on the death tolls from last year already. Mm-hmm. This is a spirit of hate, man. Ain't no God blessing America. They've been saying God bless America for how many years now? Ain't shit happened.
Right.
Because why the Lord is stirring up the spirit of hate, man. Go ahead.
Says a time of war. That's
right, time of war. Get Revelation 11 and start verse 13. We're in a time of war. World War III, baby.
Mm-hmm. It's Revelation 11:13. And the same hour was there a great earthquake.
That's right. And that great earthquake is going to be by way of what? The nuclear missiles. Go ahead.
And the 10th part of the city fell.
What is the 10th part of the city? That's dealing with all of America, because America is divided into 10 FEMA camps. Go ahead.
Says, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000.
Right. A complete number of men is going to die over here in America. Go ahead.
And the remnant were affrighted. Gave glory to the power of heaven.
Go ahead.
The second woe was past.
Right. World War II has passed. Go ahead.
And behold, the third woe coming quickly.
That's right. The third woe cometh quickly. So the third woe or the third destruction has to come. Mm-hmm. So we're in that time. And then this has to happen. Why? So that our kingdom can be established. See, what's going to happen? The Lord is just having these nations take each other out while we just slide right up into the power seat, man. We ain't gotta do not a damn thing. Get that where it says stand still.
Okay.
We ain't gotta do a damn thing, bro. We just gonna stand still.
I'm gonna grab this in Exodus.
God.
This is Exodus 14 and 14. Yahweh shall fight for you. You shall hold your peace.
See, that's right. The only thing we do is just prophesy, man. We ain't gotta lift up hand. We ain't gotta lift up sword. We just sit back and relax. We just chill. All we gotta do is prophesy, man. We just gonna watch these nations take out each other, and we just slide right up into the spot. Hey, bro, I don't know if you ever watched WWE, right?
Oh yeah.
But sometimes you had this match called like a triple threat match.
Yep.
And then there's one guy, he would just watch both opponents take each other out, and then when one opponent, finally gets to do the little move on the opponent to in the match, and he would try to pin him 1, 2, 3. The other guy would slid right into the ring, throw him out the ring, pin him 1, 2, 3, and win. That's us.
Yep.
That's what we gonna do. We just gonna slide right in there and win.
Facts.
Con.
Yeah, because we got a power like we said, and that power is that horn of Israel. He's the arm. He's the one that's fighting for us. We got a power that's gonna be fighting for us, man. Right? No other nation can say that they had a God. They had a power to fight for them, man. As a matter of fact, let me grab that in 2 Samuel. 2 Samuel 7. And man, it's all over the Bible, but I'm gonna get this right here. This 2 Samuel 7:23. And what nation in the earth is like thy people, even like Israel, whom Yahweh went to redeem for a people to himself, and to make him a name, and to do for you great things and terrible for thy land before thy people, which thou redeemest to thee from Egypt, from the nations and their gods. See that? So the Lord, no other nation can say, like we said, man, that they have a power fighting for them, the power of powers, the God of gods, right? It's 1 Samuel 17 and 47. I'm gonna start at verse 47. He says, and all this assembly shall know that the Lord saveth not with sword and spear, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give it into our hands. Mm-hmm. So like I said, man, all we got to do is just sit back, because this is the Lord's battle. We already got that. He's the one that's mustering up. He's the overseer of this. Yep. Well, we got the chief commander telling us, hey, just chill out. I got this. Mm-hmm. Even David says, I trust not in my sword, man. Mm-hmm. Why did David say that? Right. And we come up under the house of David. So the whole house of David, we're singing that same song. All right, saying the same thing. We're not trusting in what we got, because we know that ultimately this is a spiritual warfare, man. It just happens to be playing out in the physical.
Right. That's right, brother. Yeah. You going back to the article?
Yep. And hey, look at this, y'all. It says Biden is to meet President.
You already read that.
Oh, Khan. I wanted to pull out this point. It says President Biden is to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin for a high-stakes summit, right? And this is a summit, right? That's just another word for mountain. Let's Google that real quick. Right, going to prove that these nations in the Bible are known as mountains. Mountains and nations are synonymous. It says summit, says the highest point of a hill or mountain. Well, that's important to know when you read Bible prophecy. So when you run across that word hill or mountain, now that's talking about a nation. This is why when these nations meet up, it's called a what? A summit. All right.
Right.
So it says the U.S. NATO exercises included thousands of ground troops, warships, and aircrafts from more than a dozen NATO nations. While traveling abroad, a British aircraft carrier off the coast of Portugal, NATO Security General Jens Stoltenberg said the drills underscore the 72-year-old's alliance's military capabilities. And it says NATO is there to defend all our allies. And this exercise sends a message. Oh, yeah, I think this is part of it. This exercise sends a message about our ability to transport a large number of troops, equipment across the Atlantic, across Europe, and also to project maritime power. Mr. Stoltenberg told the Associated Press, which is traveling with the NATO leader.
Yeah, which I want to say something. Is that U.S. saying that NATO is there to defend all our allies?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Get Revelation 17 and 16. Yeah, which that's a complete lie, because NATO, which stands for the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which is the beast. When you read Revelation not the beast. When you read Revelation 17, they're actually going to turn on the whore when you read it in biblical prophecy. All right, go ahead and read that.
It's Revelation 17 and 16.
And
the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast.
That's right. Which the 10 horns is dealing with who? The EU, European European nations. Okay, that's what EU stands for. These European nations. Okay, so that's the 10 horns, which goes back to the 10 toes when you read Daniel the 2nd chapter. All right, so the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, which the beast is dealing with NATO. Go ahead.
Says, these shall hate the whore.
See that? These shall hate the whore. Let's go into the word for hate. It said these shall hate the whore, not love the whore, right? Not look at the whore as some type of
prize
ally, right? Look at this. To hate, pursue with hatred, detest, to love less. And we actually see, look at that, to persecute. And the 10 horns that was on the beast is going to persecute this whore with what? Fire. And then we seen a small we seen a small picture of that when we saw Turkey burning down the American dollars, saying F you, and Turkey is a part of the NATO and the EU. All right, we saw that last year when Britain exited the EU, the Brexit. You see? So ain't no NATO defending America. Give me that Obadiah, they that eat thy bread.
Okay.
Well, actually, the men that were at Confederate with thee. What's that verse like? Verse 7.
Yeah. Obadiah 1:7. All the men of thy confederacy.
Yeah, all the men of thy confederacy. Now, what does the word confederate means? To be an ally with, to be in league. Go ahead.
Have brought thee even to the border.
Go ahead.
The men that were at peace with thee.
See that? The men that were at peace with thee. Go ahead.
Have deceived thee.
You see that? Had deceived thee. Go ahead.
And prevailed against thee.
See that? So, hey, this is what the Lord meant by he said, had there is no wisdom in teaming. Because these idiots really knew biblical prophecy. You wouldn't have made such an outlandish, stupid statement as the NATO is gonna defend us. No, they not. It says the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee, man. They have deceived you, man, and prevailed against you. Why is that? Because they're going to turn around and shoot missiles on you, America. Go ahead.
It says they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee.
Go ahead.
There is none. There's none understanding in him.
There's none understanding in him. See that? They that eat thy bread. They that are living licentiously with you, which are these different European nations, have laid a wound under thee, man. There's no understanding in you. Because if you actually knew that this was a part of biblical prophecy, hey man, you would have had discharged some of those nations that ain't want to be down with you. But you don't know biblical prophecy, making stupid ass statements like that. Hold on. Finish that off in Revelation 17.
Okay, quick. Revelation 17. Revelation 17 and 16 from the top, it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall take the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
That's right. And that's dealing with, like I said, these European nations turning on America. And they're going to be teaming up with Russia and China. Go ahead.
For Yahweh hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will.
Yeah, letting you know what, going back to what the brother said, pursuing of Proverbs 21:1, the king's heart is in the power of the Lord. This is what this is reiterating right here. For the Most High put it in their hearts or their minds to fulfill his will, man. It's all the plots and plan or devices of the Heavenly Father. See?
And Christians always say, well, I just want to do the will of the Father. I want to know the will of the Father. Well, this is the will of the Father. For the America be destroyed. So if you're not, in alliance with his will, right? Hey, man, you're going to be booted out along with America. So he says, for Yahweh have put it in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast. until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled.
You can't, bro. That's it.
Okay, con. Yep, I'm gonna grab this real quick in Jeremiah 50 because, like the brother had brought up in Obadiah, says that they laid wounds, uh, under Esau, Edom. Well, those wounds eventually, well, at first, they became a snare, right? Because if you consider, a booby trap or a snare, it's got those metal teeth on it, right? Well, once it pierces through your skin, then it creates a wound, right? But right now, these nations, hey, you best believe that they have these think tanks, they have these councils just to and the Lord is the orchestrator of them, just to basically instigate, the falling of America. So this Jeremiah 15:24, I'm gonna start at verse 22. It says, a sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. I'm gonna skip down verse 24. It says, I have laid a snare for thee. And what's those snares? These other nations, man. They're the snares, the very ones that America thinks that is allied with. They're going to eventually be a snare into her, and says, and you are also taken. He says, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. See, Babylon isn't aware, right? That's like what the brother said. These dummies actually knew prophecy, well, there's no understanding of them, right? So this is what's going to contribute to them getting those wounds. It says, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught because thou hast striven against Yahweh. Let's go to that word, striven against. All right, striven. Because this is what Babylon has done. See, striven, it means to contend. See that? To contend, to excite oneself, to stir up. So America, it says that it's Babylon.
Oh, snap. And it says wage war too.
Yep.
At the bottom of that.
Yep. It says, wage war. So it's wage war against Yahweh. And that's speaking doublefold, because on one hand is how is Babylon wage war against the Lord? Zechariah 2:8. They touched the apple of the Lord's eye, the Israelites, and then eventually they're going to try to actually fight against the Most High, man, right? And his holy chariots. See that? So you want to go back to the article?
Come.
And it says, meanwhile, Pentagon officials on Monday announced Operation Allied Sky, which will see U.S. and NATO fighter aircraft fly over all 30 nations on Monday. So I'm assuming that they already did that today. It says, meanwhile, a senior Russian security official warned on Monday that Moscow will be ready to use force. See that? That's those horns speaking proudly. That's those horns flexing. Says will be ready to use force to stop what he described as unfriendly actions by other countries. Hey, these other countries, hey, they're not putting up with America's bullshit anymore, man. For lack of better words. Everything that America's doing is offensive to these other people now, man. Things that these other nations would just, kind of, wink at, with America. Hey, because it's just kind of like, if you was getting bullied all your life, if you grew up, in the streets or whatnot, and you was that weak kid, and eventually you got some muscle on you or whatever, and that same old bully that keeps trying to bully you, hey, now since you got some meat up on your bones, hey, you ready to fight him? Right. Everything that he doing is offensive to you now, and you ain't got no problem stepping up. Well, they see other nations against America because, like the brother said, they all got ICBM missiles, man. They ready. All right. Says the comments by Nikolai Patrushev, the secretary of Russia's Security Council, came ahead of a summit of the leaders of Russia and the United States next month. And we could read more on it. Did you want to read more on it?
Yeah, come on.
All right, bet. Yeah, because there was something in here. Where is it at? Okay, we read that part already. Okay, it says bomber missions demonstrate the credibility of our forces to address a global security environment that is more diverse and uncertain than at any other time in history. Says General Jeff Harrigan, NATO Allied Air Command and U.S. Air Forces in Europe, Air Force's Africa commander, said in a statement, today's mission is an awesome demonstration of, oh yeah, this is it. Yeah, this is what I wanted. It says today's mission is an awesome demonstration of NATO air superiority. And together there is no challenge we cannot tackle. Hey, bro. So they said what they did today, this was a demonstration of them being superior. Right? And they said that there's no challenge that they cannot tackle. Well, this goes back to show you who the proud is, who the most proud is according to the Bible.
Yeah, con.
Right?
Hey, on that, get Isaiah 10 and 12.
Yeah. Isaiah 20 and 12, he says, wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Lord had performed his whole work upon Mount Zion.
Yeah, it's right. What is that talking about? When the Lord finally puts an end to us drinking of that cup, which is that judgment. Go ahead.
And on Jerusalem, I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria, and the glory of his high looks.
That's right. And the glory of his high looks. The Lord said that he's going to punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria, which is the king of Assyria is who? The ruler of Babylon, man. And the glory of his high looks. Because look, America hasn't accepted defeat. So he got this glorious, pompous, high-hardy look to him. Like, yeah, nobody can beat us. Nobody can touch us. But the Lord said that he's going to punish you for your pride. Because Basuna, what's that? Proverbs 23 and 19, I believe it is. A man's pride is his fall.
Yep, I was just about to grab that. Yep, Proverbs 16.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, you talking about Proverbs 16 and 18, but I think Proverbs 23 and 19, a man's fall is just pride, I think. Proverbs 23 and 19, I think that is. Nah, damn. It says a man's pride is his fall. But I know you talking Proverbs 16 and 18. We can go ahead and get that though. I ain't want that one. But it's cool.
It is Proverbs 16 and 18 says, pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall.
Hey, you got it.
So yeah, right, this devil saying that there's nothing that he can't tackle. That's a proud spirit. And that goes to show that they're also speaking with a double tongue. Because just a couple of days ago, you had what was that, a general on 60 Minutes basically said that these chariots, they call them UFOs. Hey, we don't know how to deal with them. But now they're saying that there's nothing they can't tackle. So that goes to show you that the only thing that can take this man out the way is Yahweh B'Shem Shah, something or someone that's supernatural.
Hey yo, I found it's Proverbs 29 and 23. Salat.
Yeah, let's get that. It's Proverbs 29 and 23. It says, a man's pride shall bring him low.
Yeah, a man's pride shall bring him low. So the prideness of America, well, all you Edomites in general, but it's specifically dealing with the American Edomite, because pursuant to Daniel 7, let's get that real fast. Daniel 7 and 21. He's the most proudest Edomite tribe of Edom of them all. Actually, scroll up.
Start verse 20.
Yeah, yep.
It's Daniel 7 and 20. That's a spirit, bro. And the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell.
Yeah, and before whom 3 fell, which is dealing with the British, the Spanish, and the French. Go ahead.
Even of that horn that had eyes.
Yeah, that horn that had eyes, because dealing with the House and the Senate, got to look eye to eye, so certain laws and legislations can be passed. Right? Go ahead.
And a mouth that spake very great things.
Yeah, and a mouth that spake very, very great things, like we're gonna go to the moon. What's that saying America has? Home of the
home free. Of the brave. Yeah.
Home of the brave, right? Things of that nature. Go
proud
ahead.
To be an American.
Yeah, proud. Yeah, proudful to be an American, right? We have the best army, right? We have the best economy. Right, go ahead.
Oh, the few, the proud, the Marines. Says, and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows.
That's right. Whose look is more stout than his fellows. which we ain't going to the word for stout. Stout literally means brave or pride. Let's go into the etymology of that word, bro. Yeah, stout. Etymology online etymology, yeah. Because the blue letter don't really expound on it too much.
Stout, proud.
Yep.
Valiant, strong.
Yep.
Oh, ooh, I like this. Brave, fierce, proud.
That brave, bro. Brave. And America is known as what? The home of the brave.
Yep.
See? Haughty, arrogant. Whose look is more haughty or arrogant than his fellows. Because, yeah, man, the British, they're prideful. The Turkish, they're prideful. The Russians, they're prideful. All the Edomites are prideful. But dealing with this American Edomite, this American Edomite so damn prideful, man.
Right.
They're even prideful against their own fellows. Go back to the Isaiah 10. We'll read verse 13 now.
Isaiah 10 and 13. For he saith, by the strength of my hand have I done it.
Yeah, by the strength of my hand have I done it. That's how these damn Edomites boast, man. The strength of my hand, I've done it. I'm the one that conquered the whole entire world by my hand. Go ahead.
And by my wisdom.
Yep, and by my wisdom, go ahead.
For I am prudent, and I have removed the bounds of the people.
Yeah, and that's what this devil did. This devil literally came over here to the shores of America, removed Gad, Reuben, Issachar, Ephraim, Manasseh, Simeon, right? Removed them from their homes and scattered them throughout the four corners of the earth. Go ahead.
And had robbed their treasures.
Yeah, man, had robbed their treasures, took their land. Shit, the so-called white men took the rest of the nation's treasures too. Go ahead.
And I have put down the inhabitants like a valiant man.
Yeah, and I had put down the inhabitants like a man. This is literally Esau, bro. This is literally Esau, bro. Like, this is Esau right here, man.
Hey, so that's valiant right there.
Con. You see that? See? Whose look is more stout than his fellows. That's why the Lord is going to down you, man. You get Job. Give me Job
20.
No, damn. What's that, Job? I think Job, the 40th chapter. Let me see what verse. Yeah, Job 40 and verse 11. Yep.
Job 40 and 11. Cast abroad the rage of thy wrath, and behold everyone that is proud, and abase him.
See that? The Lord's going to abase or bring low everyone that is prideful. Go ahead.
Says, look on everyone that is proud and bring him low.
Yep.
And tread down the wicked in their place.
Wicked's going to be tread down their place, man, for all their pride. So that's what the Lord is doing. The Lord is looking on everyone that is prideful, man, and he's going to bring them low. And how is he going to bring them low? By embarrassing them. Because World War III is going to be televised, man. It's going to be on RT News. It's going to be on CNN, right? It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be on Press TV.
Yep.
It's going to be televised. America is going to be embarrassed. Embarrassed that they're going to take such a L in a short period of time, too. Because remember, in Revelation 18, it says what? In 1 hour. In 1 hour shall that great city be treaded down. So they're going to be obliterated and at the same time in a short period of time. Bro, that's embarrassing. Imagine you getting knocked out in the first round, in the first few seconds.
Yep.
That's embarrassing, bro. Yep. That's how it's going to be for Babylon.
It took you, what, almost half a millennium to build up this so-called immaculate empire. And like you said, an hour is overthrown. That's a reproach, man.
Yeah.
That's just like seeing a man, like it's equivalent to me. Here I am out there toiling, my hands or whatever, building up my own house, and I had so much pride in it. I ate and drank in it, had a lot of, fun and pleasure in there. And all of a sudden I see some young nigga just come up to my house, with some gasoline surrounding it and light a match and it's just up in flames. All them years of that hard work and, and pleasure inside of it. And it's just, hey, that'll do something to a man's pride right there. This is Sirach 10 and 13. And he says, 12, he says, the beginning of pride is one departed from Yahweh. right? And Esau was never with the Most High, man. You know, so this man was off rip, you know, prideful. He says, and his heart is turned away from his maker. For pride is the beginning of sin, right? And he that had it, and beginning, that goes into Malachi chapter 1 and 4. He's the border of wickedness. That means he's the beginning and the end of wickedness. He's everything that encompasses wickedness. For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. And that's all this man has poured out. So abominations will be poured out upon him as well. It says, and therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. Right? And that's going to be done by them ICBM missiles. It says, Yahweh have cast down the thrones of proud princes. See that? And set up the meek in their stead. And who's the meek and lonely? Well, Isaiah 61, the gospel tells you. Those who mourn at Mount Zion, we're the meek and lowly, and we're going to come in their stead. You know, like Sirach 11 says, one that was never thought of will wear the crown. You know? You had something else out?
Yeah, Jeremiah 51, starting verse 1.
It's Jeremiah chapter 51 from the top. He says, thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind.
You look, a destroying wind, bro, which is so crazy, right? When you go into this one missile, it's called the Dongfeng 21, right? Mm-hmm. And it's by China. And Dongfeng is the name of the missile, but the other name for the missile is East Wind, man. so that destroying wind is literally dealing with these missiles, bro.
That's Revelation 7.
Gone.
You know? And the Lord is holding back them winds, the missiles, until the elect get sealed.
Gone. That wind is literally dealing with destruction, man. Like I said, you literally have a missile called the East Wind.
Let's just look it up. I'm curious now.
Gone.
Hey. Yep. What is the Chinese ballistic missile? Let's see. Oh yeah, that's it. DF-41 East Wind coming. Yeah. Oh man.
Yep. Yeah, that's cool. Yep.
Our prophecy speaking for itself, man. All you gainsayers and scoffers, y'all gonna be shutting up.
Facts. Go ahead.
Verse 2, he says, and I will send unto Babylon fanners.
Yep.
That shall fan her.
That's right, bro. Hey, you ever seen that one big ass kitchen fan? And you turn it on and start blowing shit everywhere. It's like how it's gonna be over here, man. Mm-hmm. These missiles gonna be blowing all you people away.
Yep. And what does fans do? They produce wind. And what does wind do up on fire? It creates more fire.
Oh man. That's bad.
Yeah, bro.
That's just bad, man.
Hey.
Slocky, bro. Go ahead.
I know you good. So once again, it's the Lord that he's the one who's instigating more fire. Hey, that's what Benjamin was saying. Capleton. He said more fire.
Yep.
Hey, that's what the Lord is saying. Fanner. All right. It says, and I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land.
It shall empty her land. Now, this is how you know that this isn't talking about ancient Babylon, right? Because first and foremost, there's people still living over there in modern day Babylon, which is what Iraq is modern day Babylon. Number two, when ancient Babylon was taken down, it wasn't taken down in a dramatic fashion like how modern day Babylon school was about to be taken down. In ancient Babylon, and you can read the story in Daniel on the 5th chapter, what was going on was a party of King Nabonidus, I believe, coming back on the throne. They were having a party, and all Cyrus and what's that guy named Cyrus and Darius did. They just came up, snuck in, and basically put them to death, and then took the power seat. That was it. It didn't go out in a dramatic fashion. So this is how you know that this particular verse right here, this context, isn't dealing with ancient Babylon. It's dealing with the modern day Babylon, bro. Go ahead.
Oh, says, for in the day of trouble, they shall be against her round about.
That's right. They shall be against her round about. Go ahead.
Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow.
Yep.
And against him that lifted himself up in his brigandine,
Go ahead.
and spare ye not her young men.
Yeah. Spare ye not her young men. Do you know how many young people are in America's army? Like, it's a bunch of 19, 20, 21, 22, 25-year-olds in Esau's military. Guess what? The Lord said, look, destroy them too. Go ahead.
It says, destroy ye utterly all her hosts.
Yeah, which host means what? Army. Go ahead.
Verse 4 says, thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans.
Yep.
And they that are thrust through in her streets.
And they that are thrust through in these streets. Because if you're not of the elect, hey, look, and your feet still here in America, your ass is grass. Jump to chapter 15 and go to verse 3. Your ass is grass if you're not of the elect, man. Go ahead, bro.
Jeremiah 15:3 says, for out of the north.
Yeah, man, for out of the north, which literally Russia is north from America. For out of the north, go ahead.
There cometh up a nation against her.
Yep.
Which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein.
Yep.
They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast.
Yeah, both man and beast. And read verse 4 just to prove that this ain't dealing with ancient Babylon. Go ahead.
Verse 4, in those days.
In those days, go ahead.
And in that time.
And in that time,
saith Yahweh, the children of Israel shall come.
Children of Israel, the northern kingdom, go ahead.
And they and the children of Judah.
And the southern kingdom.
Together.
Together. When was the last time the northern and southern kingdom were together? They weren't together in the Median Persian Empire, or the Babylonian Empire, or the Grecian Empire, or the Roman Empire. This is prophecy, man. Go ahead.
Says they and the children of Judah together going and weeping. They shall go and seek the Yahweh their power.
Yeah, I had the brother read that just to prove that verse 3 is a prophecy, because clearly after that, or around this time period, Judah and Israel is going to be together in the same place.
Right.
You see, so that lets you know that this is not dealing with a damn ancient day Babylon, because you have people that say, well, this is all about ancient day Babylon. No, it ain't. But yeah, that's it, bro.
So yeah, man. So that's where we at. You know, we're in the midst of the land of the valley of shadow of death. You know, so with that, all you can do and must do and can't and will do, if you're part of the hopeful elect, is just be still and know that He's God, man. Just let the Lord work His work. And you continue to work your work. Which is your work of faith. And keep the commandments to your best ability, having faith in Yahweh Shah. So with that, I hope that was edifying. If you got any last remarks,
yeah, bro.
Well, till next time, Mawaf Lababa and Shalom.